Shalom, shalom, Yashar Allah. I'm going to start off first things first, giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashil, Yahweh Shah, Bahashil HaKadosh. It's in the Paleo Hebrew tongues, correct names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and great millstone. And shalom to you sister, brothers, living is true. And shalom to the brothers and sisters that's listening and studying to show themselves approved. Shalom. Now, I want to talk about, quick testimony on what happened at camp yesterday. We did a whole lesson on the persecution that's going to come down on the men of the Lord, the prophets, really on Yahshua as a whole, but particularly on the prophets. And what's so spiritual about that is, as we getting ready to start camp, a dude pulled up, Jake, he pulled up. And you tell he had a lot of animosity. You tell he was mad. So he pulled up. First thing he said was, hey, y'all them Israelites? And I was like, yeah, we them Israelites. And he was all like, man, why y'all cuss my general out? We looking like, man, we don't even know what you're talking about, man. What you mean? So I asked, to talk about it. And kind of find out, he's talking about a prominent street and dressed in purple, and they was cussing out because he was with the new Black Panther movement. He was a Black Panther. We now have the Black Panthers here in Tulsa. They have a whole charter here. And they was out there at the same time IUIC was out there. If anybody know about that, Hebrew Israelite camp. And they had a big disagreement. They arguing, which I see why, we on something different. Hebrew Israelites, they on, put the power in your own hand. But like me personally, we wouldn't have been arguing with the Black Panthers. We don't argue with nobody. We don't sit here and antagonize people as they walking by and forth. We only deal with people that deal with us. So we don't do that. But I know why they do that, because they looking to get views and sell their brand. So they do that. So pretty much going back to dude, he was mad about that situation. He thought, he looked at Ak brought out his purple garment. So he was like, I think I was talking to you out there. We had to let dude know, like, nah, you weren't talking to Ak, man. You weren't talking to him. So as we talk, and I'm letting dude know, like, all camps are not the same. We all say we Hebrew Israelites, but we don't all conduct our business the same. And I told him we learn from the apostles, elders, a great millstone. And we don't carry ourselves like that. We don't argue with people on the block unless they bring it to us. And I told him, I don't like IUIC. I'll be arguing with them too. So as we talk, and he's starting to learn that, all camps are the same. I'm telling him about all the camps and who they are here in Tulsa. We talking, like, man, we reasoning. And as we talked, he calmed down because he started seeing what the issue is. And I guess he's seen the spirit on us, so he calmed down. And as he's talking, I told him something really profound that really hit him. I was like, IUSC got a 501c3. If anybody know about that, that's a non-tax exempt, that they give to plantation Christianity churches. And I said, basically, that camp is owned by Esau. He understands Esau, and I said this, so I told him the so-called white man owns that camp. Oh, then he understands, like, oh, that makes sense, that, and he all like, man, okay, y'all brothers good, and he went back in his car, and he went about his business. Then we conducted camp. And it fit, too, because I said, these other camps, me and Aki both saying that they're going to get us persecuted because they don't handle their business right. Watch for Israel. They harass people walking up down the block. IUIC got a case put against them because they was going to the churches, because Nate told them to go to the churches. They was on Operation Blitz the churches, going on people's property and, going at their members for, not being in the truth. And that's not really how you should conduct this, man. People, if they at their church, you on their premises, you are harassing them. If they want to go to plantation Christianity and put money in that pastor's pocket, that's their prerogative. You got to let the Lord count the game. The Lord will lead people to the camps. You can't go over there and force nobody, talk to them, especially people that's in plantation Christianity. They're already dead, man. They're spiritually dead. So that's, to me, is like a graveyard. I'm not going to go to the graveyard and try to go fishing. That's not good. That's why I don't like IUIC. Their leadership is very horrible because they don't know that their leader they're following, Nate, is a sellout. That dude's a sellout, man. I just told you got a 501c3. He preaches the word for filthy lucre, which goes into money. That's why he preaches. And he doesn't tell them right. He's not a good leader. Because there used to be a lot of IUIC members at my job. They all got fired because they was walking around their fringes. They weren't walking with wisdom, telling Esau who we are. You know, and they don't know nothing, man. They don't know about the mark of the beast, the real mark of the beast. They don't, it's a lot of mysteries they don't know. They didn't even know about Jacob's trouble because Nate told them wasn't no Jacob's trouble. Then he doubled back and then said it is Jacob's trouble. So it's a lot of confusion in that camp. And then Nate, he caters to women. So the women are running rampant over there, doing what they want to do. Even has some women out there teaching, which is against the scriptures. He talking about keep the law. You got to keep the law. That's what I said. That dude, I don't like IUIC at all. I don't like none of these little off, nigga camps, man. Because they will get us persecuted. And that was a clear example of that. Now say, what if dude just rolled up? He in the Black Panther Party. I know he had the gun on him, the strap, the sword, whatever you want to call it. What if he just rolled up and just got to shooting? Instead of talking to us? What then? And that would have been based on something that, had nothing to do with us. That was a whole nother camp, arguing with them, starting fights and contention and strife. That would have had nothing to do with us. But that's how the persecution gonna come. Because you got another camp called Sakari. They had camp with guns on them. So if he had any lick of sense, I could do is send somebody to get in a fight with them and they're gonna pull out, shoot, and then he can be like, Esau could say, I told you they were militant, they were violent, and then we'll all be branded. Because people don't know there's different groups of Hebrew Israelite camps. They just lump us all in one category, we Hebrew Israelites. So that goes perfect with the lesson I did earlier and that camp. The persecution will come. And we seen a little bit of that at camp already. We had to calm, dude down, man. He rolled up and he was ready, to bring that heat. He was mad, man. He said they cussed his general out. Ain't no telling what they did. I know how USC get down. So that's showing me like, hey, the persecution is real. And that's because these other camps, man, they don't have not real leadership, man. A lot of these dudes, they out here for money. IUSPK, they have a 501c3. They do stuff like that. They get dudes fresh out of prison and they just be out there cussing people out, harassing people. People just going about their day. Like, that's why that's one of the things that pulled me to Great Millstone. I like how they do their ministry. They don't bother people that's walking by. Like, you got to, talk to them. They only deal with the ones, because we understand this is for the hopeful elect. Only the elect gonna want this truth. So we ain't got time to try to force this down your throat or force you to eat the word. That's just gonna create, contention and strife. Issues. We don't handle the word for that. So that's what it's gonna bring up. We don't do that, man. We only deal with people that want to stop and talk to us. You gotta want the Lord. Then we can give you and feed you with these, this food and give you this drink on this living waters. Then can we do that? But other than that, like Watch for Israel, I started out with that camp first. And that's how they get down. There's holler out people on the block walking. They harass people. It was entertaining at first, but after a while, I was like, man, I don't like how they doing this. I don't like how they conducting their business. That's what made me, look for other camps. I seen IUIC before I seen Great Millstone. I seen them here in Tulsa. They were marching down the street and they were doing a stomping, like the fraternities, doing a little stomp thing and all that, like entertainment. Like IUIC is an entertainment camp. And I didn't like that. I'm like, what they got to do with the truth, man? They use a lot of gimmicks. They're just like playing touch Christianity with the Hebrew Israelite twist. They still say Jesus. I can't get with that because I don't like that name no more. So as soon as I seen Nate, I knew he was a sellout. Like how the way he conducted himself, he just looked like a dude that'll just, snake you. And it's a precept. I got the precept pulled up on people like him. And he gonna give up his congregation too. Little do they know. All the people that follow IUIC, when the persecution comes and they come for Nate, you know how he gonna get off? He gonna give anybody that follow IUIC up. Because the young dude told me to join IUIC, they have to submit their information, name, address, all of that, to Nate and put it in the database to join that camp. And me and him was arguing on, he thinking you got to do that to preach the word. I'm like, no, you don't. Me and my Akin, we ain't fill out no paperwork. You ain't gonna do no paperwork. And I know where that came from because Nate teaches that. He teaches that you got to do paperwork for everything you do. And I'm like, no, you don't. All you need is the scriptures, that paperwork. That's all I need. And the knowledge of the breakdowns. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shai and the scriptures is all I need to go out and teach the word on highway and hedges. I ain't got to submit no paperwork to no organization. That's how you know he an organization. You know? That's how you know. And I'm like, the dude used to be a police officer. So your information is in the police database. I would have bet, hey, my bottom dollar. He got your stuff in the police database. And when it come time, you know, when the persecution really comes, hey, Nate that's how he gonna get away. He gonna give y'all, I'll give you my whole congregation. And they gonna get snatched up probably first. They're probably the first ones to get snatched up. And they ain't ready. They don't have the names. You know, the Lord's name is a strong tower. Those that run into it are safe. You know, loosely paraphrasing. And he took that away from you. He said the names don't matter. We use the names over here. He's still using titles, and he using a false name, Jesus. They say Most High Christ Jesus. And that's not going to save you at that time. And that's why the Lord going to say, depart from me, I never knew you. Because you let a snake like Nate trick you. So everybody that's in IUIC, if you don't come out, that's your lot to be destroyed. You know? Because the old fleck ain't going to fall for no dude like that. Plus, he done lied, got caught in the lie so many times. He lied about having a 501c3. Then when he got found out, he started acting like a little 7-year-old. Hypocrite, doing all this little weirdo stuff. I'm like, dude, that could never be my leader, man. That dude, he's like a big child. He act like an Edomite. He come off to me like an Edomite. So check it out. This is Matthew 7:15. Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. That's Nate. There's all these little off camps, man. They are false prophets, man. They don't know the correct. Well, Nate know. I can't say that about Nate. He knows. He just teaches lies because Esau pays him. So therefore, he's getting paid to be a false prophet. So his congregation, they're not prepped for Jacob's trouble, because he said wasn't no Jacob's trouble. I don't know what they're talking about now, but they're not properly prepped on that. They don't know the true mark of, you know, the MOTB. They don't know that. Because he teaching them, like, matter of fact, let's get the breakdown of how they teach what the MOTB is, which is ridiculous, you know, because we say what it is, and it's coming in reality to what it is. Now, to me, it's not debatable no more. So you follow Nate, that's to your own destruction. So let's hear they breakdown on that. Let's get right here.
And receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. So if you receive the mark in your mind, if you follow after his philosophies, if you follow after his traditions, if you're in a covenant with America, if you're in a covenant.
I don't know how to work this. I'm trying to start it over for y'all, Yashua.
Covenant with Great Britain. If you're in covenant with all of these nations, what's going to happen? The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. Right. So you're going to be caught up just like all these other nations going to get judged, because a judgment is coming for them. You're going to get caught up in the same judgment as them. Keep reading. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So on this side of the earth, North America, missiles are coming. And if you don't stop being in the philosophies and the traditions of America, you're going to be fire and brimstone.
Okay, let it replay again.
And receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. So if you receive the mark in your mind, if you follow after his philosophies, if you follow after his traditions, if you're in a covenant with America, if you're in a covenant with Great Britain, if you're in a covenant with all of these nations, what's going to happen? The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. Right. So you're going to be caught up just like all these other nations going to get judged, because a judgment is coming for them. You're going to get caught up in the same judgment as them. Keep reading. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So on this side of the earth, North America, missiles are coming. And if you don't stop being in the philosophies and the traditions of America, you're going to be fire and brimstone. And receive his mark.
Okay, enough of that madness. And now what was funny about that is they say if you have a covenant with this system, with America. And like, your camp has a covenant. What is a 501c3? And they know that now because Nate told them. So hey, everybody follow Nate as fools. They basically cut themselves. That dude just cut himself. If you got a covenant, and I'm like, you do got one. He has a 501c. That's a contract with the government. Because the government is owned by who? Esau. The American government, that's Esau's government. So y'all do have a covenant with Babylon the Great. And see, he broke it down so messed up because, like, what is following philosophies that Esau got to do with buying or selling? You know? And he said it's in your mind. And that's just a horrible breakdown, because if that's the case, you already got the mark. You know? And how can you, because they basically trying to say you got to keep the laws and commandments. How is that going to, like, you know, keep the laws and commandments? Like, what does they got to do with buying or selling right now? Because you like they claim, you're doing the God's commandments right now, but you still working the Esau system. So basically you already got the mark. So you kind of like, that's a horrible breakdown, man. That's why the apostles and elders say that the MOTB is that device. They make sense. Because nobody has the mark yet. It ain't went out yet, but they're already ushering it in through Elon Musk's Neuralink. That's why I say now Nate gonna have issues. As we move further, that dude gonna be and anybody following him, you done. Because they already drunk some juice because of him, and people done got judgment because of that. And I bet you he gonna tell the congregation, go ahead and take the MOTB. Take the device. It's not that. It's following. And then my thing is, like, at some point, it's got to hit them unless you just totally dead inside. Because they got to be like, hold up. If we take this, that's mean we going with the flow. You know, we're still, you know, in the system. So, man, IUIC is finished, man. Anybody follow him is finished. Because that's horrible breakdowns. You can tell it's not that. And he got there. A lot of them camps, they got a 501c3, they teach that. That's how they're breakdown. But it gets worse, though. I've heard sleeping with white women. I've heard embargo. I've heard it's John 3:16. Like, what? How is that the mark of the beast? Like, come on, man. That's why I can't deal with these other camps. They're low level. Because the MOTB will stop you from buying or selling. Now, when money goes digital, and there's chips already in our credit cards and debit cards. When the money goes digital, and you need a digital device that's going to be implanted under the skin, which all the top Edomites are talking about, that's how you can stop somebody from buying or selling, when you say that paper ain't no good no more. So that makes sense. And that's going to be actually a mark upon you, because when they got that grain of rice, when you look at it, it still shows as a mark on them. You can see that grain of rice in their hand. You know, when they put the device in their body, the one I've seen, it's like a device hanging out the top of their head. You can still see it. So what they talking about, that's not it, man. And it's not prepping people spiritually to resist when that thing goes mandatory, because it is going to go mandatory and it's coming. Ain't no ifs and buts about it. It's talking right now. That's why I say Nate is shut up. Yahushua is spoken. And my apostles elders that I follow, they got it right. Nate didn't. So therefore, he's a false prophet. And we once upon a time, he said wasn't no Jacob's trouble. And I'm looking like, this when I was early, I'm like, I knew it was a Jacob's trouble coming. Like, you can't tell me that. So he got them in this peace and safety. We okay, nothing gonna happen to us. They not ready for the fire, man. This thing get real. Man, you're gonna see IUIC men fall apart. You're gonna see them fall apart. Because those are not the real men of the Lord. And they should leave Nate and get over here and get with the truth. You know, at least leave that dude, man. Learn on your own. When you following Nate, he gonna mess you up. You know, that whole congregation is about to just fall apart. And then, like, since I say that, let's go to this. Since I said, let's go to Ephesians. Ephesians 5:11. And it says, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. So that's basically saying don't get no 501c3. He said had no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness. You're not supposed to cut no deal with Esau, get paid with Esau. I said Esau bet not come to me talking about, hey man, I'll give you this if you go ahead and preach some lies or tell the people this. I'm not going for that. You're not going to tarnish, you know, my salvation and my deliverance for your funky dollars. I'm not about to do that. My mind is set on the kingdom. And Esau can't give me what I want. I'll go work a little rinky-dink job to support my needs and my ministry, but I'm not about to spit no lies for no big bag of money. I'm not about to do that, because that's going to mess up my salvation. Esau can't finesse me like that, but certain men can, because money is very appealing, to Jake that ain't got nothing. And Jake, man, is like a passport. Jake could do anything to get that dollar. And see, that's telling you, that's that all that contract and paperwork stuff he finessed them with, you ain't got to do that, man. Nah, because all that stuff going right to Esau. He got all that paperwork information in Esau's database. That's why ain't no way. That right there to make me look like, I got to do what? Like a job application to teach the word. Man, get the hell out of here with that. No, man, I said I had no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness. And everything Esau got is darkness. Esau represent darkness, lies, deceit. I'm not going to do nothing with him. I don't want to be, my stuff is separate from Esau. The so-called white man. Like, this is the one thing I got that he ain't got no say-so in. He can't tell me how to do my ministry. I'll be damned. But Nate, really, they said if this congregation really knew, Nate is getting orders from Esau. That's Esau camp. That's why it looks just like the Planted Christianity Church. That's what they told Nate he know the names, but he converted back to Jesus when he got that bag. So when he got that bag of money, he had to teach Jesus again, because it's money when you teach Jesus. That's a prosperity. He teach a prosperity gospel. He don't tell them about the dangers that's about to come. Everything is peaches and cream with him. He's just like Joel Osteen, T.D. Jakes, all of that. All he say, only thing different between him is he say Hebrew Israelite, and he say keep the laws, and he know a little bit. He teach a little bit of the gospel. Because what they do, he said missiles is coming to America. That is true. On that part, that is true. Missiles is coming over here. But his whole MOTB breakdown was just garbage and off. And that come from Nate. And Nate know the truth. He know what the MOTB really is. He know the names of the Lord. Like, he used to be right there with our apostles and elders. He know. But when he got that bag, he has to teach lies. And he got a lot of Jakes about to go to their grave, man. Because I think IUIC is the biggest group in Babylon the Great. Because we got GMS, Great Millstone is very big too. And we got brothers all over, the world. But as far as in America, Babylon the Great, I think IUIC got the most members. Because they're world friendly. And it's going to be, you still following that camp at this time? Hey, that's you. Because, it ain't going to be, no good at all. And look, since I say that, let's go get this. Let's go get this. 2 Timothy. I'm going to probably end off with that. Because, that just shows, they not part of the hopeful elect. They let Nate swindle them. That's your fault. So check it out. This is 2 Timothy 3:13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. You hear that? Deceiving. Nate is deceiving his whole congregation because he knows the truth, man. And he's waxing worse. Their doctrine is getting worse, man. I think he getting nervous because it's getting harder to keep up them lies. And he see that MOTB is talking, like the scripture said, the end it shall speak. So it's probably getting harder for him to come up with new lies and to keep them people swayed, and that strong delusion he putting up, because he's an evil man. Because he preaches the word for filthy lucre, which I keep saying that. Let's go get that. Let's end off with that since I keep saying that. And I might go get that. Let me go get that in the blue letter. So we can look up, a lot of people don't know what lucre is. So let's look that up in the blue letter. Let's go to, where was that at? For all the new people. I want to say Titus is that New Testament? Yeah. Let's go to Titus 1 and 10. And this is Titus 1 and 10. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they the circumcision. Here go 11. Whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not for filthy lucre's sake. And Nate teaching that the MOTB is a philosophy, that's something he teaching he shouldn't, because he know the truth, and your people deserve the truth, but you don't want to give it to them because, let's pull it up. Let's look up that word lucre. Filthy lucre, because it's Esau money.
Strong's G 2771. Kerdas. Kerdas.
Kerdos. So that word goes to kerdos, which goes into gain. Let's see. Well, that word, let's see, they got the definition. It says of a certain affinity, gain, lucre. Let me see, did I get the right word on that? Let's go back. Did I go to lucre? Yeah, because it was filthy lucre. Dirty money. Because it's Esau money. So he teaches that, yeah, that's kerdos. Yep, that right word, you know. So he teaches it for gain, which goes into money. He getting a lot of money. He getting a big bag. And so that bag has got him caught in a delusion. That's how Esau controls everybody, through his money, his dirty money, his blood money, his filthy lucre. And that's Nate. So Nate, you know, he lacks a healthy fear of the Lord. He doesn't fear the Lord like that. He that money means more to him. Because let me get that. See? Well, the spirit flowing. You probably end off with that. You can't serve two masters. Yep, let's get that. And Matthew, I'm gonna leave off with this. Matthew 6:24, because Nate serves mammon. He doesn't serve Yahweh. And he's been taught and built up to know the truth and preach the truth, but he doesn't, because he serves not Yahweh. He serves mammon, which goes into money. And this is Matthew 6:24. No man can serve two masters, for he will either hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve Yahweh and mammon. So we serve Yahweh over here. Nate serves mammon. Therefore, all his stuff is all messed up. It's out of order. And his breakdown on the MOTB is off, which everybody gonna see that when we get to that time. Like his cold camp about to this blow up in a minute, because them lies, that's why he got sick at one point in time. I know he over there, that's stressful. Trying to hold them lies together, man. That's real stressful. You know, if he just teach the truth, he can sleep at ease. But he got a lot of blood on his hands. So therefore, I know it's messing with his conscience. See me, I sleep good at night, man. I'm doing the truth. I'm doing a good work. You know, I'm serving Yahweh. So I ain't got to, like, you know, wonder what I'm doing bad and look on my shoulder like, oh, man, Yahweh gonna get me, man. I don't went out here and misled these people. No, man. That's not on my conscience, but that's on his heavy. Best believe that, Yahshua, because he know what he doing is wrong. He ain't like a Pastor Pork Chop sincerely going off. Nate knows the truth. He going off on purpose to get that bread, to get that money. That's why he do what he do. He always looking to build his brand. You know, he got a lot of deals with all kinds of agencies and contracts, because even been on BET and all kind of stuff. You know, he's made a covenant with the world. He's of the world. His camp is of the world. You can see it. You know, everything they do is like, I'm like, nah, that is not, you know, of the nation, man. That's worldly right there. You might as well go to a Plantation Christianity church. You know, then y'all still saying Jesus. I can't get with that using that false name. I can't do that. You know, so yeah, you use the image, but you still using the false name that go with the image. So how far have you really gotten when you in IUIC? How far have you really gotten? Really nowhere. You're still there. You're still in the world. You need to take another step. Get out of that camp. You know, get out of there. And like I said, man, I can tell it's got to be bad. Like I said, they get into it, the Black Panthers, man. The way dude was hot, and they might just light them up. You know. And I don't see the Lord protecting them either, because they're not men of the Lord. You know, that I can see. No, they don't know the names. You know, because I can go right here and prove that. Let's go to Psalms. And when I used to deal with them at my job, and they try to come, you know, try to tell me something or try to, you know, cut me, man, they always used to stumble. Because I read this precept right here, and they used to mess their heads up, especially the young dudes in their camp at IUIC. This is Psalms 91:14. Because he have set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he have known my name. Peep that. Nate say you don't know the name. Get out of here with them lies, man. So they're outside of Psalms 91. So it's not good when Jacob's trouble roll out for anybody that's still following the doctrine of IUIC, because he took the name from them And when they stand out, you say they ain't seeking a name. They say Most High Christ Jesus. You know? So I don't see them being saved or delivered because they didn't get, you know, the gospel. They don't know the names. You know, that shows Yahweh really ain't dealing with them like that. So with that, I just want to do a quick, well, I guess it went long. It was supposed to be quick. But I just want to put it out there, like, if anybody that's camp hopping, man, stay with Great Millstone. That's where the truth is at. You know, apostles, elders, they got it. You know, I done surveyed the territory, the field, and the apostles, elders, Great Millstone, I feel like that's the house of David. So stick with that, man. For sure, get away from IUIC, IUSPK. They have a covenant with the world. They have a 501c3, non-tax exempt. They've already admitted to it. So that's Esau's camps, and that will mislead you. So with that being said, I hope this has been edifying. I want to say Kwam Yashrala, detail about Shalom.